Welcome to Annuity News Now. I'm Scott Drake. My guest is CBS Moneywatch correspondent Steve Vernon. We're talking about a series he's been writing entitled The Retirement Income Scorecard. In this particular piece on managed payouts, Steve, always a pleasure. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Scott, for having me back.
Typically, financial advisors talk about the asset drawdown and use the number 4% of your portfolio over time should work out and help you have enough money for retirement. Does that number actually really work anymore?
Well, Scott, it depends on what you mean, does it work? And there are reasons why you should go lower, and there are reasons why you could go higher. Let me just quickly give you the reasons. Is that the 4% rule has shown that if you invested a balanced portfolio, take out 4%, give yourself increases for inflation over the years, that you have about a 90% chance that that will last for 30 years. And so that's good. Now, the problems with that is interest rates right now are at an all-time low, and so that eats away at that rule. And also, the rule was designed as if you did not have any investment expenses, when in reality you do. And so if you wanted to be absolutely certain in today's environment that you won't outlive your money, I think you ought to consider payout rates of 3% or 3.5%. That's the reason why you might want to go lower. Now, why would you go higher? Well, if you're willing down the road to decrease your withdrawals, if you have bad investment return, then that's okay. So in other words, what you do is you hope that you're going to get good investment returns and start off with a 4 or 5% withdrawal. And if you do indeed get those good returns, then you can support that withdrawal. But if you don't, then you better cut back. So I think it really depends on how willing you are to sustain cutbacks in the future. What you can see by this, Scott, is that anytime you withdraw from your account, it's really part art and part science, and there just aren't any hard and fast rules on this.
Yeah, and I guess with the way things have changed over time, when that number first probably was developed, people weren't living nearly as long. So now you have people who are going into retirement with a preconceived notion of lifespan that could be much longer than they expect. And something, you know, that's been becoming more apparent too is that women live a lot longer and they probably need way more money. So you have to, I guess the first step would be what? Make sure you have enough income to draw down to begin with.
Oh, that's for sure, Scott. And actually, with a married couple, if you do run out of money, most likely it's the wife that's left holding the bag, because most women live longer than their husbands. And so, you know, if a man worries about leaving his wife destitute, then he would start off with a lower withdrawal percentage.
Talk about maybe kind of a strategy that maybe mix different things. So here we're talking about stocks and bonds. Certain kinds of annuities can be really good for this kind of situation, can it?
Oh, I think so. In fact, one very interesting result is that if you can buy an immediate inflation-adjusted annuity, and what that means is you'll get a monthly paycheck for the rest of your life, and every year you'll get a bump up for inflation. The starting payout of that kind of annuity is, you guessed it, 4%. And so with the 4% rule, you hope that you'll make your money last for life, and you hope you can get adjustments for inflation. But with an inflation-adjusted annuity, you're guaranteed that. And because of that, I like suggesting to people is that they divide their retirement savings and take part of it and buy an inflation-adjusted annuity, and take the other part and invest it and draw it down. And maybe you buy that inflation-adjusted annuity to cover your basic living expenses, you know, food, rent, utilities, so that you aren't worried about becoming destitute. And then your optional, your discretionary expenses, you know, that's what you fund with your managed payouts. So that's actually a combination that I highly recommend you consider.
Okay. So it sounds like that a mix of different kinds of things is always a better idea.
I think so, and it's just, you know, you've heard about when you're investing, you want to diversify your investments. And once you get into the income phase, I like diversifying your sources of income. And this mixture does exactly that.
All right, Steve, thanks for spending time with us today.
Okay, Scott, thanks for having me.
My guest has been Steve Vernon, correspondent with CBS Moneywatch, and you're watching Annuity News Now.